Welcome to Who Taught You, a platform where we discuss a plethora of things. And today, we're going to talk about who taught you about the B word. Get your mind out the gutter. Get it out the gutter, my good people. Get it out the gutter. I'm talking about who taught you about budgeting. But before we get all into it, what I'm gonna need you to do is go ahead and like and subscribe. Like, hit the buttons below. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. Just hit a like and a subscribe and be a blessing to somebody. Go ahead and forward this over to someone. Yeah, go ahead and be a blessing to them, because listen, they may need to go ahead and learn how to budget, okay? All right. And then put your notifications on for our next show, right? So, I'm looking all dialed up today because I just came back from a photo shoot, doing some publicity pictures today. And one of the reasons I wanted to do a show on Who Taught You About Budgeting is because last month I went on vacation, right? We all need a vacation. So I went on a vacation to Aruba, right? And let me tell you, Aruba was good to me, okay? And I'm one of those people, like, how when you go on vacation, people try to stay out the sun. I like to burn to a crisp. You know how, like, toast, when you burn toast, that's how I like to be. And so I was sun-kissed or sunburned, whatever you want to say. Laugh at me if you want to, honey, okay? But I was doing all that. Well, before I went on vacation, I spent a good coint. Yes, I did, my good people. I spent a good coint, okay? So I bought sandals. Like I didn't even have sandals at home, right? I bought some bathing suits. Like I didn't have bathing suits at home, right? I bought some outfits, some day outfits, some night outfits. And, I just wanted to look my best. And of course, you got to get some spending cash for when you're there, right? So, as I said, Aruba was good to me. I really enjoyed it. And you know what? If you need a break, go ahead and take you a break. Take you a vacation, okay? And recharge and reset and come back, okay? So, I went on vacation. I spent all these coins. And when I came back home, frugal moogle. That's me, okay? Cheapo creepo. That's me. Listen, I said to myself, you need to get you a handle on that coins, and you need to go on a budget. Go back on your budget because you was good at that, right? So I decided that, I need to get back on my budget. I need to go ahead and be a little bit more frugal and stop spending a lot of coin. Because listen, when they let us out, like they said, we outside. Listen, your girl was going out to eat every weekend. Listen, I was booked and busy and just spending all the coins, okay? So I had to slow it down, slow it back down, because guess what? We are in what they say, a recession. Well, they're not calling it that, but it sure is acting like a recession with inflation at 8.6%. Can you believe that? So I'm going to let you do a little homework. You go ahead and Google inflation, see what it means. Your money is not going far. Okay, let's talk about gas. Yeah, gas is expensive. So listen, if you have a car, or even if you don't have a car, you're paying extra for that. If you use public transportation, you're paying extra for all of that, okay? If you're taking a plane ride from here to where, or whoever where, you pay extra for that because gas is expensive. Okay, so, with inflation the way it is, and we're heading towards a recession, or some may say we are already in a recession. Who owns Berkshire Hathaway said, listen, we need to hold on to our cash, our coins. So knowing that from one of the richest men in the world is telling you that, allegedly at his shareholder meeting, you want to listen. You want to be like, wait a minute, if the rich people saving their money, I need to save mine too. So a best way to do that is by budgeting. And guess what? I talk about that in my book, Who Taught You About Money? It can be found on Amazon and Kindle. And if you don't like to read, you see how thin this thing is? If you do not like to read, Kindle can read it for you. Okay? It also says, who taught you about money? 5 simple steps to bring the bank, aka money, to you, because we want all the bank, okay? So, talking about inflation and gas, we have to learn how to budget our money. And who taught me about that? I was trying to think about that. Who did teach me? And I'm thinking maybe it was Susie Orman, because I remember a time I was living with my cousins in New York, and I was making okay money for my age group at the time. I was real young. And I was working, and I actually had 2 jobs, because you know I'm a true Jamaican. And I had 2 jobs, honey. Okay? So, what I had to do was I had to pay rent, utilities. I had to make sure I had my transit pass, and you know, food and other stuff. And listen, I wasn't making like that much, but I was making a little bit more than some of my friends. And I didn't even have on my budget, like, you know how you have personal to go out and eat or something like that. I ain't had no money for that. Nope. So I had to do my budget, and the way that I did it was I actually took a pen and paper, and I didn't really budget all of my income. What I did was I only wrote down all my bills and what I needed for each one. So listen, this is to tell you, you can start from anywhere. Pen and paper. You can start from anywhere. Some people budget by using a spreadsheet. That also works for me. Some people use some wonderful apps. Yes, that's good. Use an app. Whatever is easy for you. You know, there's a company called YNAB. They have a good budget as well. The one I use is EveryDollar. And guess what? Because I am frugal boogle. Frugal moogle. Cheapo repo. I'm going to use the free version. Always. Always. You know what is before that, years ago, before I even knew about EveryDollar budget by Dave Ramsey, you could look it up. Go ahead, Google that. Okay. What I did use was Mint. Mint was also free, and I loved Mint because, see, the free version of EveryDollar, you're not attaching your accounts to it. But the free version of Mint, you could attach your accounts to that. Okay? So, and I used it, and it was just very impressive. It told me where my money was going. And another thing is, sometimes you could go to your bank account. Go to your bank account, or if you use a credit card, please stop using credit cards, okay? Don't you hear inflation is high? Interest rates are high? Please stop running up more debt. Okay, back to it. Okay, so you could pull your credit card statement, and most credit card companies or more bank companies will have, you could get a statement where you could see what you're spending the most on. Now, my thought process is that most people spend money on food. Like during the recession, a lot of people did Grubhub. When, you know, like I told you last month, I done spent the whole bank. So I was spending it on going out to eat, you know. So a lot of people spend money on that. Now, most books will talk about, oh, the coffee, how to budget with the coffee. And that's good, but not everybody eats coffee, but a lot of people go out to eat. So in my budget, I have $200 to spend on going out to eat, because your girl likes to really eat, and when she go out, she's spending a whopping $100 for each meal. That's me. You may spend $35. You may spend $200. You may spend $10 when you go out to eat. Unfortunately, me, I like to spend and really get my food. You know, I likes to eat. I likes to eat. That's why I done gained this weight during this pandemic. Please pray for me that I lose some of it, okay? So, I really like to go out to eat. And one of the things that I say in my book is, you know, maybe cutting out one weekend of you going out to eat. Start slowly. Like, you know, I use the example, sometimes I'll say, Brooklyn likes to go out to brunch every Sunday with her friends, and she spends $75. So she don't spend as much as I do. So every Sunday she go out to brunch because we brunching with Brooklyn. Oh yeah. So just think about every Sunday she's going to brunch, right? And she's spending $75. So $75 times 12 months. Just think of how much that is. So if she cuts out one weekend of brunching per month, that's 75 times 12 months that she's saving, and that she could save a good $900 a year. You know what I'm saying? So just think about starting slowly with your budget and how you could cut things out. But first, you need to narrow down what you're spending your money on. And you could only do that with a budget, or you could call your bank. They could give you a statement, or they could direct you online if they have that feature to go to a certain site so you could see what you're spending money on. Now, one thing I did notice is sometimes, like say I use a credit card, but the way that I use a credit card is I do not inherit more debt. I use my credit card to buy groceries. I use my credit card to get gas. I use my credit card for a lot of things because I do have a business, so I might go out to eat socially for my business, you know, a business lunch or something to that effect. And what I do is I pay it off before 30 days. So that means that if I purchase something on the 12th, I'm going to pay it off before the 12th of next month because I do not like interest. So I am not giving the credit card companies any interest at all. Now there's an art to this because when I first started, I didn't know how to manage it and do it that way. So I'm not directing you to use a credit card, right? By no means. I'm not doing that. The inflation is too high. You're going to spend too much on interest. They want you to take out these loans. Do not take out these loans. It's too expensive, okay? But you should budget for everything. And then once you do, like I was saying, my credit card company, sometimes they will put certain things in certain categories. They'll put, like say Costco as instead of grocery, they'll probably put it like, oh, I went out to dinner. So I have to move it so that it's in the right category. Or that's what I'm saying with your bank. Look at the statement and just make sure everything is in the right category. And then you'll see, oh, am I spending too much on going out to eat? No, I might be spending too much on groceries. And nobody ain't saying that you shouldn't eat good. You should eat good, right? But you, in this so-called pre-recession with inflation so high, you have to figure out ways to be more frugal so that you can have more coin or more bank in your pocket, okay? So I want to say something. A lot of times people follow a lot of celebrities and they be like, oh, they living this life and you want to live this life? I want this high life, honey. I want this great life. I want to live like them. Do you have money like them, first of all? I don't think you do. Whoop, whoop. You don't. You don't have millions of dollars. So let's start from where we're starting from. We could be 100 there, 1,000 there. If we ain't a millionaire yet, you know, please watch your own pockets and stop trying to live like everybody else. You know, so some celebrities, I once read that Oprah had a family office, which is like an investment management and wealth management for wealthy families. That's allegedly, because I saw it in the news. I don't know Oprah's pockets, okay? So a lot of celebrities like basketball stars like LeBron and all these people, allegedly, they may have this type of investment management set up, right? And the investment manager manages all their money, and they may have a budget for going out to eat, for their staff, for their housing utilities and bills, for everything else, for their travel, for their business expenses. They delegate all of that. So my point to you is that if you think that these millionaires do not have a budget, they do. They do. They definitely have a budget. they sometimes, you'll hear them on TV say, oh, I had to call this person and say, yes, I wanted to buy this $1 million car or whatever, because they have to get that released, because their financial advisor may, or their investment management group may say, you could only spend 100,000 this each month, and they may go over that. So since you do not have that family, listen, we family now. Yeah, I'm family. I'm that cousin who always in your business. Stop spending, okay? I'm that cousin, yes. So if you're looking for something like that, a family office, if you have a certain amount of income, I think it's like 100K plus, there is a company called Creative Planning. They do the same thing. They do it for people who have less money. If you want them to manage it, or you could go to a regular investment manager, you know, and have them manage your money, or financial manager. They can manage your money. But why pay somebody else to do this? Why? That's you taking that out of your budget and out of your coins. Go ahead. Start today. Get a pen and paper if that's simple for you. Get a spreadsheet on Excel. If not, go ahead and get an app. I just told you a couple of apps that would work for you. Okay. So, you know, we've been following the news, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And listen, my apologies if I done messed up somebody's name. And allegedly, they talked about how Johnny spent so much money from what he got from this particular movie, and how much he spent so much money. And listen, sometimes we fall to where we spend a lot of money, right? But don't think that these people do not have a budget. They do. Y'all sitting up there rocking these designer purses and all this stuff. The other day, I'm going to tell you this. I once used to shop at very high-end stores and buy designer purses. Gucci, Louis. I never really liked Louis that much, because the purses that you buy in the store most of them are not leather. They usually say allegedly only the handles and certain things are leather, but the rest are not, allegedly. So the only bags that were fully leather were the runway bags. And listen, those cost a coin. If you ain't got a coin to spend, or if you don't want to release them coins, please don't look at them. So, you know, I have a few Louis Vuittons, but I probably bought 2. And then I was gifted one, I think, something like that. I have a bunch of Gucci's, a bunch, you know, back in that Coach and all this stuff. You buy a whole bunch of this stuff. You buy them Tory Burches, listen. And I had to take my Gucci bag and my Louis bag to get cleaned. Never done it before, but I said, oh, let me go and get it cleaned. And I went into Gucci, and you know, the young lady told me the price of getting it clean, or she told me that they have to assess it and then they have to get it clean. So while I was waiting around for her, I decided to look in the store. I had no intentions of buying anything, okay? Not a thing, okay? So I'm looking around in the store, and I'm seeing how much these bags cost. And I'm saying to myself, and I shared this with a couple of my girlfriends, I said, how did we afford these bags back then? And we make more money now than we made before. How did we afford it? I just can't understand. I can't even fathom that I used to spend so much money on these designer bags. Now, I'm not trying to tell you what to do if that is your passion for fashion, okay? But I'm just saying, if you're going to buy you a bag, save up for it. Don't break the bank to do it. Don't be that you can't eat today because you done bought these bags to stunt on anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Don't do all of that, you know. I just can't see myself anymore spending that type of coinage on that, because my mindset is just totally different now. I'm like into land and, you know, housing and all that stuff. So I can't spend my money on other little things or expensive shoes. I can't do that, okay? So, you know, they just recently mentioned that a lot of celebrities are wearing fake designer bags. So look at how they done gotcha. Got 'em. Got 'em. That's you. They done gotcha. You out there buying the expensive bag. What's that bag? I can't even remember, but it costs so much money. It's worth a lot too. I can't even think about it. Designer bag. I can't think of the name. It won't come to me. And y'all buying the official bags while these celebrities are rocking Fako Mako. Y'all over there spending all the coin, and they got the fakes. They got the fakes. But you done spent all your coin on that. And let me tell you something. In these high-end stores, they see us coming a mile a minute. Not only us, they see broke and what they consider broke. You might be like, who, me? I'm not broke. You are broke in their eyes because you are not these millionaires. You know what I'm saying? So you come and spending all the coin. That's why they love it. I remember working at a company one time, and we used to say we love the people who don't have a lot of money. That's me using a better word, right? The reason we love them is because they would buy up the whole shop. Now, I didn't work at a retail store. This is not what I'm talking about. At one point I did in my life, but this was another company that I worked for. We used to love the broke people because they're going to buy everything. They can't afford it, but they are. Now, the people with the money, they would have the most basic items. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't want to bring that company into like, this is the reason why I did not mention the name of it. So let me also tell you a story. And this is in my book. So definitely go and get it. Who taught you about money? 5 simple steps to buy in the bank, to bring in the bank and AKA money to you. You definitely want to get it on Amazon. And you could get it on Kindle, or you can get it just regular at Amazon. It's only $9.99, thin read, for those who don't like to read. Because I feel like the message is the message. So you're going to get it, okay? All right. So when I was younger, I dated this guy. And let me tell you, the guy was fine. Let me say fine, like fine, okay? Okay. So he was a catch. He was an apple, right? He was fine, okay? And I remember the first time I went to his house, and he had it going on. He had the most expensive ride, and he had, you know, his house decor was great. He had everything you would need. He was living a top-notch life, and he was making top-notch money. When we sat down and we would talk, because he would say, oh, you know, I want to marry you, and we would have the marriage talk, right? That marriage talk, like, you know, I do want to marry you, and this, that, and so on. So at that time, I had a lot of junk in my trunk. I don't mean my derriere. I mean junk in the trunk as far as money. I had quite a few coins because I had gotten a settlement from somewhere because of I was injured. If you don't know, I'm disabled. May not look like it, thank the Lord, okay? But sometimes I feel like it, okay? So I had a couple of coins sitting in the bank, and I was buying houses because really and truly that's what I was taught when I was younger. My dad taught me about buying real estate, okay? So when he met me, he making more than me, and he's thinking, oh, how come she got houses? You know what I'm saying? And so his ego, he felt away, so he wanted houses as well. So he started competing with me. I wasn't in a competition. I just got the coin, the blessing, and I was trying to use it wisely, okay? So he decided to pull money out of his house and go buy a house. Okay, that was his choice. So we dating, and I just was getting scared, very scared of him. Because what I did notice is that he didn't manage his money well. He made a lot of money, but he was always broke. And I was so scared when he kept talking to me about marriage that, oh my God, if we get married, he'll be spending all my money too. And I was like, I'm going to be broke too. And I do not want to live that broke life, right? So I broke it off with him, right? So anyway, he went on and he had borrowed money from me. Still to this day ain't paid me back, honey. Right? But we're going to leave that to God, and I got all the blessings I need in this world. So he told me later on that how he had ended up in bankruptcy court. Okay? So, I listened to him, and things were not going well for him. He had gotten a couple of DUIs, he said, and he was in bankruptcy court, and things just was not going well for him. And so he bought the other house, he lost the other house and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, whoa, you know, I'm so happy. Like, you know how Beyonce said, you missed me with that? I was so happy he done missed me with that, and God told me to move on, right? So later on, I ran into him, and he told me, you know, I've gotten married, and I had already been married and stuff. And he told me about his wife, and his wife had a quoint. And I realized, I said, I'm not saying that he married her for the coin, but I'm going to let you come to your own conclusion, okay? But I was like, good for her, because see, he couldn't spend up my money like that, because I just thought, I was like, girl, run, run, because he was just spending all his money. He lived way beyond his means. Like, I don't even think he could buy groceries. But on the outside, he looked good. He had the most flashy car when I dated him, the most beautiful house, but he couldn't pay his bills. He could not pay his bills. And you know what the funny thing is? When I ran into him, he had just lost his job. He was married, but he was laid off from his job. So I just want y'all to not be like him, okay? Or like other people, just struggling out there. I want you to hold on to your cash. We're going into a recession, they say. And inflation is extremely high, gas is extremely high, and we are all struggling in that way. So I want you to budget your income, budget it, and put something away if you can. Put some money away, because you know you got to pay yourself first before you pay anybody else. And most people don't understand that. It's like, why make another company or another family rich? Like, say for instance, the family name is Brown Light Company. Why make Brown Light Company rich instead of you making yourself rich? Now, I'm not saying don't pay your bills. That's not what I said. Don't hear that, because listen, I did not say that. But I'm saying put a little bit away for yourself, okay? So until next time, that I see you, as I kept saying, I'm going to be bringing you more content, more stuff, more vibrant information. And listen, I got down to the floor with you because I wanted to be closer with you, honey. I wanted to get up close and personal, okay? So until next time we see each other, but I just want you to go ahead and save all the cash you can, because we family, right? And family look out for each other, and I'm looking out for you, okay? So go ahead, and the information for my book will be down below. So if you do want to purchase it, it's a great read. As I said, pretty thin, pretty thin. You're going to get your money's worth out of this, okay? It's going to give you some information that you need, okay? But until next time, guess what I want you to do? Like, subscribe, and be a blessing, and forward it to somebody else so they can learn, okay? And I'm going to see you later. All right? So until then, I'm going to say bye.